The purpose of this report is to provide the Grand Chapter a summary of our accomplishments and our current state of the fraternity. 2 years ago, as our world began to emerge from the global pandemic, the Grand Chapter reflected on Sigma Nu's response to the most disruptive singular event since World War II. We rightfully took great pride in the massive and effective response to this disruption of our collegiate brothers, staff, alumni volunteers, and alumni at large. Together, we not only persevered, we became stronger as a result of that unusual triennium. At the same time, we reflected on the year-long celebration of 150 years of the Legion of Honor, launched at our last in-person Grand Chapter in 2018. I was sworn in as regent, standing next to the rock and the rows of Sigma Nu in Lexington, Virginia. Consider the meaning of these two primary symbols of our fraternity. The rock stands for constance of purpose and our timeless principles of love, of honor, and truth. These remain exactly the same as they were when our founders met on the parade grounds almost 154 years ago. The rose stands for purity of purpose and perpetual growth and renewal. Consider how our fraternity has changed since 8 young men met at the Maxwell House Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee for the first ever Grand Chapter in 1884. These symbols remind us that each generation of Knights of Sigma Nu has 2 critical responsibilities. We must maintain our commitment to our fundamental principles and honorable mission. And we must be constantly learning and improving to ensure our strength and our ability to meet the changing needs of our world. This can be accomplished by providing an environment that is free from divisive political and social pressures, allowing a place to share and discuss ideas and develop an inclusive brotherhood. Standing before the virtual Grand Chapter 2 years ago, I asked our brotherhood to join me in the High Council in continuing to meet these critical responsibilities. The world needs the mission of our fraternity. It is our sole purpose to develop ethical leaders devoted to love, honor, and truth, to grow the mind, the heart, and the character of our brothers, and to perpetuate lifelong friendships and a commitment to our purpose. Brothers, together, we have fulfilled these responsibilities, and as a result, the state of the fraternity is as strong as it's ever been. That was a dramatic pause. We have organized our report according to the fraternity's strategic plan. Our strategic plan is designed by the High Council to serve as a roadmap to meet our mission. The plan is updated by each new High Council and guides each portion of the fraternity's work. Each year, our progress is measured against the plan, with adjustments being made as needed.
The plan is presently composed of 4 strategic imperatives. Our strategic imperatives clearly state conditions that must exist if we are to accomplish our mission. For each imperative, the Council identifies a series of strategic goals. Our executive director is then charged to deploy the fraternity's resources to achieve those goals. This is all done on behalf of you, the Grand Chapter. These are not mere words on paper. This strategic plan represents our responsibility and, in hindsight, our scorecard. Our highest priority imperative was and remains chapter strength. We do not seek chapter strength for its own sake. Simply put, we know that a chapter strong in all areas of operation is the very best environment for delivery of our mission. We also know that a fraternity filled with strong chapters is a strong national fraternity. Our Pursuit of Excellence program not only measures chapter performance against our standards of excellence, but incentivizes constant improvement. The Pursuit of Excellence program is an objective, metrics-based performance management plan as good and as strong as any I have seen in the corporate world. A strong chapter is backed by caring and engaged alumni advisors and is capable of recruiting, engaging, and retaining the very best men our campuses have to offer. Our second imperative is alumni commitment. The Sigma Nu Brotherhood is not only for the college years. Brotherhood is for life. Indeed, the Sigma Nu Brotherhood is a lifetime commitment. Our aim is to provide opportunities for involvement and engagement over the course of each brother's life that enhance the value of lifetime membership and increase the commitment level of every brother. Our work within this imperative also ensures the next generation of alumni leaders is prepared and capable of leading our fraternity in the future. Our third imperative is excellence through education. Excellent chapters are also smart chapters that teach their members the way of honor and give back to their local community. Our award-winning education and development programs ensure our brothers receive the critical, outside-the-classroom education they need to succeed during and after college. Our excellence through education imperative also includes vital health and safety resources, including mental health education and accountability for misconduct. Excellence through education is where the heart, mind, and character of each brother can grow. Our fourth imperative is reputation. Reputation is primarily about engaging our communities as ethical leaders at every level, including on our campuses and within the interfraternal community. Reputation is also about identifying and responding to threats that challenge our mission. To illustrate the progress we have made toward our imperatives over the last 2 years, and to confirm for you the strong state of our fraternity, we will share some truth, some facts and numbers with you, the 70th Grand Chapter.
For our chapter strength imperative, over the biennium, 99% of our chapters received 2 leadership consultation visits from our outstanding staff team. In the last year, 99% received 5 virtual consultation visits. During these visits, our consultants meet with chapter officers and members to share best practices and recommendations for improvement toward excellence. They also conduct educational programs. Over the last 2 years, more than 7,000 officer consultations were completed and nearly 700 educational programs facilitated. On a 4-point scale, our chapters rated these consultations a 3.7 in overall effectiveness. Over the biennium, we conducted 4 Sigma Nu Institutes for collegiate chapter officers to learn from one another, from our outstanding alumni volunteers and our staff team. More than 1,200 collegiate chapter officers benefited from the institutes, giving them an overall effectiveness rating of 3.5 on a 4-point scale. We conducted our exceptional preparation program for chapter commanders, the College of Chapters, each year of the biennium. This year, more than 90% of chapters attended the College of Chapters and rated the program a 4.6 on a 5-point scale. In 2022, we celebrated 10 years of the College of Chapters in its current format in support of our chapter strength imperative. In its 10th year, the College of Chapters was recognized with the Laurel Wreath Award from the North American Interfraternity Conference for innovation and excellence in educational programs. This work pays off. We almost broke the record for number of chapters receiving Pursuit of Excellence Performance Awards, and this year, 21 collegiate chapters have earned the distinction of being Rock Chapter, the highest performance award a collegiate chapter can receive. Standing behind this outstanding collegiate performance are dedicated alumni advisory boards. As of this year, 90% of collegiate chapters have an engaged advisory board, and 92% of those are functioning at an optimal level. Overall, more than 2,000 volunteers serve our collegiate chapters as advisors and House Corporation leaders on a daily basis. Over the biennium, we reestablished 4 dormant collegiate chapters and rechartered 3 collegiate chapters. As college enrollment declined and fraternity membership recovered from the pandemic, more than 76% of our collegiate chapters had manpower above the average for their campus or increased their manpower for an average chapter size of 71 men.
Commitment imperative. As we seek to achieve higher levels of alumni engagement and commitment, and as we seek to increase the value of lifetime membership, we built upon the work done in recent years to define alumni commitment and to determine how we will measure alumni commitment. One of the most significant accomplishments of this biennium was the Council's authorization in April of 2022 of the programs, tactics, and strategies that constitute our alumni commitment program. Since our founding, more than 264,000 men have become knights in the Legion of Honor. Of these, approximately 185,000 are living today. When we apply our definition of alumni commitment, we find that a little more than 60,000 of these alumni are currently in active classifications. This number represents 4% growth since 2019. Our goal is to significantly increase this number by increasing the opportunities for engagement and the value of lifetime membership. We seek to do this in a way that is smart and responsive to alumni and what they have been telling us. Simply put, we want to eliminate the phrase, "I was a Sigma Nu," from our vocabulary. We should all say, "I am a Sigma Nu," for life. We also established our operational priorities, which are: to grow alumni commitment, we must grow opportunities for engagement, and we have done so in the last triennium. We have launched our new monthly newsletter, The Gavel, as well as our new Gavel podcast, both of which were continued in the last 2 years. This biennium, we launched a new publication, The Quarterly, which brings chapter and alumni news to all alumni on a quarterly basis. We have restored the publication schedule of our flagship and award-winning Delta magazine. The webinar series launched during the pandemic has continued throughout this biennium. The series offers a multitude of programs from professional development to education to social opportunities in cooking classes and book clubs. And we continued our transitions campaign, focusing on keeping our recent graduated connected to the fraternity. All of this work builds upon the natural springboard of the nationwide celebration of our 150th anniversary in 2018 and 2019. It is imperative that our strategies and programs to increase alumni commitment consider the input of these that they are intended to serve. This biennium, we conducted our 3rd biennial survey of all Sigma Nu alumni to receive feedback and suggestions to inform our efforts.
For our Excellence Through Education imperative, 97% of our collegiate chapters implemented our award-winning LEAD program with experiential curriculum dedicated to providing brothers the skills and knowledge they need to become ethical leaders. Our brothers also continued to excel in the classroom with our fraternity grade point average again exceeding 3.0, a benchmark we first reached in the 2016 biennium. Our overall health and safety education and prevention programs, which are extensive and date back more than 35 years, were recognized in both years of the biennium with the Campus Prevention Network Seal of Prevention. More than 90% of our collegiate members have successfully completed our leading education and prevention program, Community EDU. We continued our innovative health and safety poster program, done in partnership with other leading men's and women's Greek organizations, and we continued our comprehensive anti-hazing campaign, including leadership and hazing prevention organizations such as the Hazing Prevention Network and the Interdisciplinary Institute for Hazing Prevention. We maintained our participation and sponsorship of National Hazing Prevention Week each year. We significantly increased our programs in support of mental health with continuation of our Behind Happy Faces program. We began implementation of the Inclusive Brotherhood resolutions from the 69th Grand Chapter. We maintained our workshops focused on prevention of prescription drug abuse in partnership with Generation RX. We continued implementation of our award-winning social strengths and bystander strengths workshops focused on healthy relationships and sexual assault prevention. And we launched a new workshop on accountability. We continued our Helping Hand initiative in support of community service, service learning, and philanthropy. As we approach the 20th anniversary of this initiative, our collegiate brothers have raised almost $15 million for philanthropic purposes and contributed more than 2 million hours of community service. We continued our progress to improve our archives with the launch of the first ever oral history project. Almost 10,000 brothers shared their Sigma Nu story, creating a rich addition for our archives. We are on the brink of launching the first ever virtual tour of our fraternity's incredible headquarters in Lexington, Virginia. Deploying the latest technology, virtual tourists will not only be able to walk the grounds and buildings, but learn about the objects and artifacts displayed in the historic home of the Legion of Honor.
And for our reputation imperative, as you know, our fraternity has a long history of leadership in interfraternal and higher education communities. We recognize that a successful interfraternal community is good for our mission. A rising tide lifts all boats. And we always seek to foster a strong partnership with our colleges and universities, even in difficult times. We've continued this tradition of leadership over the last biennium with members of our staff team or key alumni volunteers serving in leadership positions in 10 distinct interfraternal organizations. On more than 50% of our campuses, collegiate brothers serve in leadership positions for their local interfraternity council. We've continued our involvement and leadership in the North American Interfraternity Conference, the trade association for men's fraternities, including initiatives to provide higher levels of support and education to local interfraternity councils, on which many of our collegiate brothers proudly serve as officers. Also, through our leadership in the NIC, we seek the open and free growth of fraternity communities across the continent. We have maintained a high level of leadership on matters of public policy and legislative affairs at the federal and state level, including efforts to protect due process and freedom of association for college students, and to enact anti-hazing legislation and legislation that would increase our ability to raise funds for chapter house improvements of collegiate housing, and to overturn onerous local zoning ordinances. We were heavily involved in supporting the litigation a few years ago against Harvard University that successfully overturned Harvard's stunning policy to punish its own students for belonging to private single-sex membership organizations, including fraternities and sororities. In the same vein, our leadership in organizing the defense of multiple men's fraternities against a lawsuit brought by Yale students seeking to force co-ed membership on men's and women's fraternities resulted in a favorable resolution of that case. In the last 2 years, our staff team has provided direct support on 33 separate campuses in response to incidents of system-wide suspensions, deferred or prohibited recruitment of new members, unwarranted activity restrictions, and anti-fraternity activism. We have staunchly supported the bold and new work of the North American Interfraternity Conference to produce independent research that reveals for the world something that we already know is truth, and that is, fraternity is good for you. It is good for you academically, socially, and professionally. It is good for your health. It is good for your mental health. It is good for your alma mater, for our communities, and for the good of the world. For the first time in the history of the Greek letter movement, we now have compelling database evidence that destroys the false and damaging stereotypes about fraternity men. Our exceptional leadership in the interfraternal community is illustrated by the fact that our collegiate brothers and chapters and our alumni leaders received a combined 11 awards of distinction from the North American Interfraternity Conference. These highly competitive awards are from a field that includes the entire men's fraternity movement in North America. We are also incredibly proud to see our Sigma Nu brother from Mount Union and Texas Christian University receive the NIC's highest award, the gold medal of the NIC last year. Dr. Victor Boschini is a member of our Sigma Nu Hall of Fame and the Chancellor of TCU. Throughout his higher education career, he has been a strong supporter of the fraternity and sorority experience. We are proud that he wears the badge of the Legion of Honor. Dr. Boschini is the 6th Sigma Nu brother to receive this distinguished recognition, with a prior recipient, past Regent Howard C. Pickett, being with us tonight. Tonight, the latest Sigma Nu recipients of the NIC Awards of Distinction will be announced. This kind of leadership does not happen by accident. Those accomplishments are tremendous and a credit to every brother who contributed to them and to every prior grand chapter that has recognized the importance of maintaining our position of leadership. As our ritual states, the deed is valor's praise. Virtue is its own reward. We do not lead the interfraternal community for the recognition. We lead because it is the right thing to do, and because a thriving interfraternal community allows us to further advance the honorable mission of Sigma Nu. Frankly, we can and should do more. Let Sigma Nu continue to set the example.
Still with us? Well, you'll certainly appreciate knowing from our Finance Committee later in the Grand Chapter that all of this was done while improving our financial strength and performing better than budgeted for each year of the biennium. This is a testament to the stewardship of every collegiate chapter, every collegiate member, every collegiate advisor, every house corporation, our staff team, and our High Council. Candidly, our financial strength results from more than 25 years of visionary leadership delivered by prior Grand Chapters and High Councils on whose shoulders we currently stand, and due to the discipline and leadership of our collegiate chapter leaders and advisors of today. During this Grand Chapter, we will examine the fraternity's needs for the future to ensure adequate resources for the accomplishment of our mission. As we will be reporting during this Grand Chapter, the progress made by our fraternity the last years was matched by the outstanding success of the Sigma Nu Educational Foundation. This has led the High Council to consider and approve the largest asset transfer from the fraternity to the foundation in 30 years. This gift will directly serve our educational mission and further strengthen and secure the fraternity's future. It is possible because of our collective financial discipline for more than 25 years. We are grateful for the Foundation's steadfast support of the fraternity's educational and scholastic programs, as well as the care and the maintenance of our remarkable headquarters campus in beautiful Lexington, Virginia. A key component of the Foundation's success is the continuation of the single Chief Executive Officer for both the fraternity and the Foundation since 2018. Under this model, our Executive Director, Brad Beecham, also serves as the President of the Foundation. Though our organizations must remain separate entities for legal reasons, the single CEO model improves efficiency and coordination of the work of both. Through the incredible efforts of our Educational Foundation, the generosity of Dr. Bill Spears, and the Brothers of Oklahoma State University, and many other chapters, last February, construction of the Spears Family Epsilon Center for Excellence at our headquarters was completed. This new facility more than doubles our educational lodging and meeting space and makes it possible for thousands more of our collegiate and alumni brothers to benefit from our educational programming pilgrimage. The Center for Excellence is the most significant project at our headquarters in over 30 years, and it has the power to turbocharge and accomplish our mission. This world-class facility marks the realization of a stretch goal 10 years ago and is a testament to the enduring value of our fraternity. We are very grateful for the Educational Foundation and all the individual brothers who have made this possible. I now would ask that all directors of the Educational Foundation and all the donors to the Center of Excellence who are with us tonight to stand for recognition. Thank you, brothers. We sincerely appreciate it.
Now, we ask ourselves the most important question: why? Why did we pursue the achievements and these accomplishments? Because we believe in the power of the fraternity, and we know the impact it can have on our lives in good times, and especially during the hardest times. Because we believe in the creed of Sigma Nu Fraternity. Because we believe in love, honor, and truth. Because we are Knights of the Legion of Honor. And because we know the mission of our fraternity must be accomplished, whatever the challenges that stand in our way. I believe the brothers of Gamma Zeta captured the value of our mission of Sigma Nu in this very brief video.
Describe Sigma Nu in one word and why.
Sigma Nu in one word.
One word.
If I were to describe Sigma Nu in one word, I would say compassionate.
Opportunity. Rememberable.
Love.
Welcoming. Growth.
Connection. Family.
Charismatic.
Brotherhood.
Versatile.
If I could describe Sigma Nu in one word, I'd go love.
I came here knowing absolutely nobody. I felt so out of place being an out-of-state kid.
When you come back from like a hard day, good day, you have brothers to come to. And for some people that don't have like brothers to lean on, that's what this provides.
It feels like a family to me, at least what I had at home. And now I'm here and I have 100+ brothers and dudes I can count on to go to.
We got a lot of guys from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different parts of the world.
I could go to anyone in this fraternity and I know that they would have my back and that they would celebrate my victories with me and
really show our love for our community as well as our school and love amongst the Greek system. I think that is what makes us unique, is just how we really focus on our core values, and one of them being love is a great example.
I have a group of friends who I'm gonna have for a lifetime, and it's just changed my life.
Overall, this experience, it's been life-changing. I have connections for the future. I have best friends now. I could never imagine myself anywhere else other than Sigma Nu.
So yeah, you can just meet a lot of people who could like lead you in the right path in life.
I was able to create a whole lot of lifelong friends, connections, and just many memories that would go a long way.
A great environment to be in, all around.
Brothers, that's what it's all about. We together preserve the rock, and like the rose, we made improvements to advance our mission even further. We have much to be thankful for, most of all the Legion of Honor and our brothers. To that end, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the loss of several Sigma Nu's mighty oaks over the course of the biennium. We mourn the loss of past Regent David Nyman and lifetime alumnus volunteer brother Joe Cannon. We likewise mourn the loss of two of our Hall of Honor members, Brother Sam DiBatano and past Regent Randy Capps. These and all of our loved and lost will be properly memorialized during the Chapter Eternal program later in Grand Chapter. And so, brothers and friends, I conclude where I began. The state of our fraternity is strong as you can see. 154 years after our birth, we have affirmed and are accomplishing our honorable mission. We are believing in the life of love, walking in the way of honor, and serving in the light of truth. As we look to the future, the mantle of leadership now falls on you, the 70th Grand Chapter of Sigma Nu Fraternity. Let us acknowledge the outstanding work done by all of you, which has put us in a position of fortified strength. I have every confidence that you will rise to this occasion as you exercise your leadership and prudence in the coming days to ensure the continued success of the Legion of Honor. Sigma Nu is needed, and Sigma Nu must continue to thrive. I want to thank my fellow High Council members and all of our dedicated alumni volunteers, especially our division commanders. I thank our foundation leadership and our executive director, Brad Beecham, and all of his staff. Most of all, I thank the leaders of our collegiate chapters for your dedicated service. You inspire and motivate the Legion of Honor. As the 67th Regent of Sigma Nu Fraternity, it has been a privilege to serve you, and I look forward to continuing to work alongside you for a successful Grand Chapter. Thank you very much.